This is Perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out the Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. This is the sequels to Knives Out, directed by the great Ryan Johnson, also starring Daniel Craig. He is back to play the world's greatest detective, Blanc, uh, Benoit Blanc. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And also, there is a slew of new characters. This is a brand new mystery. You have Edward Norton in here. You have Janelle Monáe in this. You have just a very stacked cast. You also have Batista in this as well. So, very similar to the first Knives Out. You have another who's done it here, but it's interesting how this movie starts, how all these different people get this big invitation, this box that's like kind of mechanical, and you have to kind of go through these different games to kind of open to see it. It's a really extra thing to just showcase a invitation. It's just a really fancy invitation. One character just smashed it open with a hammer. That was Monet's character. That was pretty funny. So they all get invited to Greece, to this big billionaire, this billionaire's house, or just his kind of private land, his private island, I should say, to kind of play a game. And he goes by the name of Miles Bron. That's played by Edward Norton's character. And this guy is just completely full of himself. Like, he even has a picture of the Mona Lisa, and he's just so self-absorbed of just being obsessed with being like immortalized. They literally kind of worded it that way, but he's just really a narcissist. So he pretty much invites all these people, but the odd people out are Andy's character, which is a person that helped start this company that Miles Bron is now like in control of, and pretty much kicked her out of. And that's where Janelle Monáe's character Andy comes in really interesting. She's the wild card of this whole entire movie. She is definitely the standout to me, performance wise. So what's the interesting thing about this movie is the whole game kind of gets figured out by Blanc, and then you're left sitting there like, what else is there to really go off? And then another murder happens, and this is where things really start to kick off, because anytime that this detective shows up, you already know he's been hired to do something, to look into a case. So it's interesting how everything kind of comes about. I will say, I feel like this movie is a bit too long. They could have definitely made this movie like 2 hours long. It didn't need to be 2 hours and 20 minutes long. But I understand a lot of the chunk of this movie is explaining exactly what a certain character's been up to, where their whereabouts are. It's very interesting. I think people that like the first one will enjoy this one a little bit more, because I feel like the twist and the mystery in all of it is a little bit harder to figure out. But once you do figure it out, it's just like, where do you go from there? And I was kind of satisfied. I just think it took a little bit too long to get to certain parts in the movie. Some of the other characters are kind of dimwits, and they're just not really that interesting, and they're just kind of there for just filler, just to kind of fill in some dead air, dead space. But I do appreciate that they kind of cut down the casting. It's not as many people as the first one, but it's okay. I still think that the standout is Janelle Monáe's character, and wow, I really want to pay attention to her more often now as far as her acting side of things go, because I think she definitely is very talented, because I haven't really watched anything that she's been in up until this point. But yeah, like I said, Daniel Craig does his thing. He's even way more goofier in this movie than the first movie. That's another thing that you can say might take you out, is the humor. The humor is very forced at times for me. Some of the jokes hit, some of them don't at all. And it's interesting. That's all I have to say. Like, that's my initial first impressions of the movie. If you're looking for a movie to watch, and like I said, if you like the first one, I think you will enjoy this one even more. If you have seen this, let me know how you feel about it. Do you like the first Knives Out or the second Knives Out more, or do you just think that Rian Johnson is complete trash and you're not watching this at all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.